Hey guys, this is Dustin coming at you with another video. Now, somebody suggested in the comments a video I should make is, I'm drawing a blank on the name of it, but I'm gonna call it the Fragrance Showdown, or the challenge that most of these YouTubers are doing is they're taking two fragrances at one time, spraying them both in the air at the same time, and figuring out which one they smell first. And I have 6 of the strongest fragrances in my collection that I would consider just strongest, not based on times a year to wear them, but totally based on just pure strength, longevity, and projection. So, in no particular order, and in between each spray, I'm gonna make sure here in this coffee cup here, I have some coffee beans to refresh my sinuses with each smell I take. So that way I'm not mixing or picking up different things from a spray before. So we will start off with, I'm gonna go with Club de Nuit Man, which is Armaf's 1 million clone, which is right here. And I'm gonna pair it with one that a lot of people don't hear too much about, but every time I've wore it, I've received compliments. And it is by the house of Ard Al Zafran, and it's called Oud 24 Hours Majestic. And it is this bottle here. Now, a lot of people say this gives them kind of a stronger with you vibe, kind of a nutty, creamy, suede leather, and a soft, smooth wood. And this stuff, 10 hours on me, no problem. Same with this, 10 hours, no problem. Both have really big scent trails. So let's figure this out. Okay. Right away, I'm getting this one. That woods, the silky woods, and the nuttiness is coming through. Now I'm smelling this a little bit, but off initial blast, this is what I first smelled. So that one is out. Now, I'm gonna pair with another Middle Eastern fragrance that has received a lot of hype, and it is none other than Lattafa Assad. Right here. Anybody who's watched my channel, I've done a full review on these fragrances here and what they're trying to mimic. So here we go. Ard Al Zafran, Oud 24 Hours, Gold, and Lattafa Assad. That's kind of a tie. All right, let's try this again. Actually, this one's beating it, for sure. And what's interesting about that is, I only get 8 hours out of this. This one projects heavy pretty much the whole life, but it might just be the different notes in this that are making it to where it's harder to smell. But this one comes through well above this guy. Get some Okay. Now this one's still staying in. Now we will go with one that is now becoming one of my new favorite signature scents. It kind of has vibes of ombre leather, but not so sweet and fruity, but more of a blue fragrance with that leather being prominent with a little bit of green herbal kind of notes touched in there. And it's one of my favorites. And it is from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, and it is Ferragamo Intense Leather. Now, this one is kind of a do-it-all for me. It's 8-9 hours, no problem, no matter what the weather is, whether it's cold out or whether it's hot out. Here we go. Now, Tafa Assad and Ferragamo Intense Leather. Let's not spray myself in the face. Believe it or not, I smelled this one first. And then this one's coming through right at the end. So Tafa Assad is out. These next two fragrances, we are down with one more Middle Eastern and one more designer house. After that one, I need another. Okay. So, I am gonna grab the one from Middle Eastern house. This one, just like Assad, has received tons of hype, a lot of hype since it came out, especially with what it is trying to clone is Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. Now this one, at a fraction of the price, but it is not cutting corners on performance either. It is Afnan's 9 p.m. And whenever you get a bottle, careful of these caps. These things are solid metal on the outside. Drop this on your foot or your toe, you're gonna be feeling it. So here we go. Ferragamo Intense Leather and Afnan 9 p.m. Yep. Right off the bat, this one came through. And now I'm smelling the Intense Leather. Okay. Now this next one is from the house of Armani. I grew up rocking this as in eau de toilette, but due to reformulations of newer batches of this fragrance in the eau de toilette, I don't even bother getting that one anymore because the longevity is so weak and pathetic due to the reformulation. You almost have to get a bottle pre-2015 to even be able to get the longevity out of it. But I have the EDP, and the fragrance I'm talking about is Armani Code Eau de Parfum. Now this is probably one of my favorites if you're wanting that Armani Code DNA like the Eau de Toilette, but the sharpness of the bergamot and the citruses up top is not here in this. You still get the lavender and you get the tonka bean and the vanilla in here. And this one is a lot more wearable, in my opinion. Now, here we go. Got Armani Code Eau de Parfum and Afnan 9 p.m. Let's see what we got here. That's almost a tie, because I'm picking up some of the lavender coming from this, but a lot of the sweetness from this. Okay, I'm gonna do another. And also, for me, when I'm trying to refresh and get different smells and stuff for coffee, I always like to use, not like Starbucks or anything like that, just some of the local coffee roasters in your area, because it's fresh. And sorry, I'm going on a tangent there, but here we go again. Off on 9 p.m. Armani code EDP. Believe it or not, this is probably going to surprise a lot of people, but right away, this is what I smelled. I got that slight powderiness and the vanilla coming through right away over this. Yeah, now I'm starting to smell the sweetness from this 9 p.m. Okay, so now, since this is a clear winner, I'm going to go back through with the others and see which one comes out on top. So now, let's go with Ardell Zafran Oud 24 Majestic and Armani code EDP. Right away, the code, but that time I got mostly the lavender. Okay, get some more. And we'll go with the Ferragamo Intense Leather. Actually, this one edges that out. Right away, that green herbalness and that little bit of leather in the background is what I smelled first. Okay. I'm still gonna keep this one in since I'm just kind of going down the line. My house is gonna reek after this, but here we go. Club de Nuit Man and Armani code Eau de Parfum. Right there. Instantly, that time I got a little bit more of the vanilla and the soft powderiness. And we have already done a sod with this. So, to me, believe it or not, whether you go with any of these, whether it's Armani code Eau de Parfum, the top of the sod, Ardell Zafran Oud 24 Hour Majestic, Armaf Club de Nuit Man, Afnan 9 p.m. or Ferragamo Intense Leather. I think what it comes down to is, when choosing one of these or multiple of these, what are you gonna wear it for? What's the occasion? What's the seasons you plan on wearing it? Are you planning on wearing it casually? Are you planning on wearing it dressed up? There's so many factors that can go into it, but ultimately it comes down to, what do you like best smell-wise? Are you gonna want to use these as a date fragrance? Do you want something that is gonna project heavy and last a long time and you want to be noticed? Or are you wanting to wear something that you could go to a bar, have a beer with your girlfriend or something, and you don't necessarily want something that's going to project heavy? It ultimately comes down to, what is your preference? What type of scent DNA do you like? Do you want something that's more sweet, dense, and gourmand-like? Then you could go with Club de Nuit Man by Armaf. It's going to be that same type of Paco Rabanne 1 million vibe, but with a soft, subtle, white floral note in there. Do you want something that's going to last for hours and hours and hours and be sweet and kind of fruity? And go with 9 p.m. If you were going to do something that's more of a clubbing fragrance, that's clubbing fragrance right there on a budget. Now, would you go with any of those two if, say, for work fragrance or say for a professional setting? I don't think I would. I think for me, if it was a professional setting, I would probably go with either the Armani Code Eau de Parfum or the Ferragamo Intense Leather. Are you wanting something that's going to be on more budget? Start writing things out. Think about what your budget is. Think about, okay, what am I going to do with this fragrance? Is this something I'm going to wear all year round? Or is this something that I'm going to wear for a date night fragrance? Or is this something I'm going to wear to work? Or do you want something that kind of checks all those boxes for you? If it were up to me and I didn't have all these, but say I had samples to figure out what I'm gonna wear, me personally, in my own opinion, I would go with something that isn't gonna be necessarily heavy sweet, even though that serves a purpose, especially in cold weather. That's why I have those. But if I want something that's gonna project good, but not be obnoxious, or something I can wear to work and that smells professional, doesn't smell youthful or playful like perhaps a 9 p.m. could or the Club de Nuit Man could, I would probably go with something like this Ferragamo Intense Leather or the Armani Code EDP. Now, this is going to be right in that $60 price range from discounters. This is 110 ml, and these are going to go right around $100, $110. But if you find them on discounters, you might be able to get a little bit under $100. So if price wasn't an issue and you were on a strict budget, like if you were on a strict budget of say $40, but you want something that is going to check all those boxes, work good in cold weather, work well in warm weather, springtime, kind of a 4-season fragrance, but that smells professional enough for you to wear to work and doesn't smell youthful, go with this guy. Go with Lattafa Assad. It's going to be that Dior Sauvage Elixir DNA, but much more dialed back on the projection, but also the longevity. With this, I would have no problem spraying 6 to 8 or possibly even 10 sprays. Do that with Sauvage Elixir, you're going to be choking yourself out and probably choking the whole house out. If there's somebody else in the other room, they're going to smell you. There's no doubt. They're going to walk into that invisible cloud and be like, what the hell did you just spray on? But this gives you that same type of vibe for right around $35. So, as kind of a do-it-all, if it were me picking all over again for 2 for all year round that are going to be professional, but would work well for dates, work well for going out, these would be my choices right here. You have your $60 fragrance here, 8-hour longevity, no problem. And you have your other one that might be a little bit more professional. Both of them are professional. They're going to work in a professional setting without being obnoxious, without being too much for people around you. Personally, I wear about 4 sprays of this, and that's doable. That's subtle enough. It's 1 on each arm, 1 on each side of the neck. and I'm good. If I want another one, I'll just spray one right down the front of my button up or my flannel, and I'm good to go for 8 hours. No problem, no matter what the weather is, no matter how cold or hot it is. So that was the fragrance showdown or spray off. So if you guys want any of these fragrances, I recommend, best price I've found, Lattafa Assad on Amazon, right around $33, $34, $35. If you want the Club de Nuit Man, same, Amazon, $30 or less. Afna, 9 p.m., Amazon, right around $40 or less. I would say with this guy, your best bet is probably gonna be possibly eBay, because I'm seeing these on Amazon for about 80. Like with most fragrances, if anything's been hyped, the prices get jacked up. So check any of the discount websites, Fragrance X, Fragrance Net, Aura Fragrances, and check them out. You might be able to find them at a good price point. Oud El Zafran, well under 30 bucks. Probably right around 25 bucks on Amazon. And they have another one that's in a black bottle with gray line work on it. And that is their clone of Tom Ford Black Orchid. Now, I haven't had a chance to try that one. That might be one I pick up eventually and try it out. But definitely recommend this if you're on a budget. And of course, with the Armani stuff, I rarely see them on discounters, but when they're there, they're maybe 15 bucks, 20 bucks off of what retail would be. But this is a good option. There's lots of different flankers in the Code line. You got Absolute, you have Armani Code, EDT, which I highly recommend stay away from unless you could get your hands on a pre-2016 batch. Then you'll get good longevity out of it. But all these newer ones, they're not worth the price you're gonna pay for it. Now, as I was saying, the different Code flankers. Absolute is a really nice one, vanilla, suede leather, and just a good all around. It's kind of dense, but it's great longevity, 8 to 10 hours. But the suede leather note in there with the vanilla and the tonka is just beautiful. I love it. That's probably gonna be honestly my next bottle if I could work out a trade with somebody, or if I can get one of these houses to send a bottle for me to review. And there's Armani Code Profumo, which from what I've heard kind of has a cola vibe. It's very sweet, very leather, very vanilla heavy. I haven't had a chance to try that one. There's Essenza Colonia, which is going to be somewhere in that ballpark of like Acqua di Parma Colonia, very citrus heavy and zesty, fresh, which I would love to try that. But check any of those guys out. Highly recommend. This has been the DS Fragrances Fragrance Showdown. Talk to you guys in the next one.